Welcome back to another KPM Tech Tip video. My name is Rob Leonard. I'm a field service technician here at KPM, and today we'd like to talk to you about cut quality. Cut quality is a huge topic for us here. We get lots of calls about it during the season and questions under our other online content asking for more in-depth videos. For the first section of things we could check, we'll go over anything you could do with virtually no tools. But before we get into that, as soon as you notice a cut quality issue, let's slow down and think, is this something that I could be affecting? Let's take a pass down the lawn at a reduced rate of speed and pay close attention to what you're doing. Turn around and take a look. Did that affect what you were seeing? Was it something you were doing? And if not, let's drive it over to the garage and take a look. So now that we've realized that it wasn't anything we were doing and we're ready to take a look at the machine, the most complicated tool you're gonna need to check these things is a tire pressure gauge. So if you're noticing an uneven cut or a cut quality issue, we're gonna wanna get the tire pressure gauge out and make sure that all of our tires are at the correct spec. If you have two different tire pressures in the rear, it's gonna cause the machine to sit crooked. And that's gonna cause a major cut quality issue because you might even be thinking that your deck isn't level when really it's just tire pressure. So that's gonna be the number one thing we wanna check. So now that we've confirmed that we have good tire pressures, the next thing that we're gonna wanna check is the condition of our blades and our cutting deck. We wanna make sure that we don't have a lot of debris built up underneath the deck and that our blades are in good, sharp condition. Our demo machine here is jacked up so that we've got an easy viewing for you guys. While you're under the cutter deck, checking the condition of your blades and making sure that it's clean under here, one good way to check your spindles would be to grab the ends of your blade and give it a good shake back and forth. And we wanna make sure that our spindle bearings are good and that blade's not able to rock side to side. So now that we've inspected underneath the cutter deck and we know that we've got a good sharp set of blades on there and there's no major debris built up and impacted under the cutter deck, let's take a good look at our belts and our pulleys. We wanna make sure that our belts are properly tensioned, that we don't have any fraying of our covering on our belt or any burning to indicate that the belts have been slipping, so that we've got a good grip and we're spinning those blades at the proper speed to get a good cut. So now that we've gone through all of our visual inspections and our tire pressure check, let's get into the things that we would require the use of tools for. Number one thing that we would want to check after that is our actual deck level. We're not going to get into leveling the deck here. We're going to link our video above that goes to our deck leveling. It's a very in-depth and descriptive video showing you how to do it. Other than deck leveling, we'd talk about blade sharpening. Blade sharpening on these is recommended every 25 hours. And we also want to make sure that we're balancing the blades when we're sharpening them. Sharpening, obviously, we want to have a nice sharp blade so that we're actually cutting the grass and we're not just breaking the grass off at the blade level by force and giving it a ripped or torn appearance at the top of that grass. We want a nice, smooth, clean cut, right? This whole thing is about the best cut quality. As far as the balancing goes, it's a very important part of that blade sharpening procedure. Balanced blades are going to have way less vibration. Unbalanced blades are going to transfer a lot of vibration to your spindles and your pulleys, and it's going to greatly reduce the lifespan of your spindle bearings. And that vibration throughout the machine can cause lots of other issues, deck cracking and stuff like that. So make sure we're balancing as well as sharpening every 25 hours. As we're talking about sharpening our Scag blades, I've got a nice brand new blade that would be for this machine here. The Scag OEM blade has a Marbane hardened cutting edge, which is going to give you a lot longer lifespan and more resilience against nicks and things that an aftermarket blade wouldn't. So we always want to make sure we go with an OEM blade versus an aftermarket. And one other thing to note on this blade, it's all black and painted, but this blade is sharp and ready to go when you get it from your dealer. As soon as you start cutting, that paint's going to wear back and expose that Marbane hardened cutting edge. So as we're going through this whole cut quality video, one of the real takeaways that we want to make sure that you understand at the end of this is that these decks are designed to actually lift and cut the grass. So if we're going from our standard regular lift blade with our airfoil on the back that's going to create lift in the grass, if we're going from that to a mulching blade that has holes in that airlift, we're going to want to actually use our whole mulching kit, and we're going to want to make sure that everything that comes in that kit is installed so that you're still getting the proper amount of lift, because once you lose that lift, your cut quality is going to suffer. So as you're going through all these cut quality things, just always remember, one good source of reference material for you is going to be your Scag operator's manual. As you can see, beginning on page 24 in this manual, it starts showing you examples of cut quality issues. So between everything that we've showed you and the examples here, you should be able to kind of narrow down what's going on. And if you've gotten through all this and all the examples in the book, and you're thinking about taking your machine into the dealer to have them check it out, make sure to give them the most detail possible. Cite an example in the manual and show it to them. Bring pictures, bring videos. Anything that you could possibly do to add detail to the complaint of cut quality is going to help your dealer give you a satisfactory result in a much faster manner than them trying to figure out what it's doing wrong and then how to fix what it is doing wrong. Thanks for joining us for today's cut quality video. Hope you all come back to see our next video as soon as it's ready.